A fight over the abrupt withholding of federal dollars for refugee aid is back in court. This follows a lawsuit against President Trump's executive order suspending the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program. Fox 13's Frankie Thompson has details on how today's hearing unfolded at the federal courthouse in Seattle.
Cameras are not allowed inside the federal courthouse of the Western District of Washington, but arguments could be heard from plaintiff lawyers accusing the federal government of stalling to reinstate refugee admissions and funding. Right now, it's important to look back at critical moments in this case to better understand how we got to the latest developments from today's federal court hearing.
On January 27th, President Donald Trump's executive order went into effect, suspending all refugee entry into the United States through the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program. The order also abruptly suspended millions of federal dollars for admissions agencies and resettlement programs that serve refugees. The International Refugee Assistance Project filed a lawsuit with the Western District of Washington against the president on behalf of 9 impacted people and groups that support them. The lawsuit challenges the president's refugee ban, stating it violates the Refugee Act of 1980 and the Administrative Procedure Act. In March, a U.S. district judge in Seattle filed a preliminary injunction against the executive order. The court's order requires restoration of the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program and allows the reentry of refugees who were conditionally approved prior to Trump taking office on January 20th. But now, lawyers for the plaintiffs in this case are accusing defendants, the federal government, of not complying with the court's injunction order.
This has turned into a game of whack-a-mole. At each turn, they invent a new strategy to avoid their legal obligations. And the effect of this delay on refugees and the organizations that serve them has been devastating.
The government denying the accusations, saying it's waiting for clarification from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit to determine the government's next steps.
The government swiftly sought the Ninth Circuit's clarification because we believe that the Ninth Circuit is the court in the best position to interpret its own order. We are hopeful that the court will soon give clarity on this question.
It's been more than a month since the district court ruled on the injunction, and plaintiffs say the government has made no action to abide by the rules, now accusing the government of stalling.
Without additional measures, it is clear that defendants do not plan to comply with either preliminary injunction, and conditionally approved refugees will suffer the consequences.
The Trump administration says within 90 days of the executive order, the Secretary of Homeland Security and Secretary of State will submit a report to the president. From there, it will be decided whether the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program should resume. This would include allowing the entry of refugees. The White House says additional reports will follow every 90 days thereafter. As for this case with the Western District of Washington, the district court judge says he will decide the next steps in this case by the end of today. In the newsroom, Frankie Thompson, Fox 13 News.